All right, if we could have you all just grab your seats, we're going to get started. Hopefully y'all got a little bit of coffee and refreshments, but please help yourselves and continue to take care of yourselves as you need to throughout the day. We have a packed day we want to make good use of. But we're really excited for our next guest and so thrilled that he could join us here today. We're going to have a keynote from our Attorney General, Rob Bonta. Many of you, I'm sure, are already familiar with him and his background, but we love him and we want to brag about him a little bit, so hopefully he'll indulge our introductions. But Rob Bonta was sworn in as the 34th Attorney General of the state of California. He is the first Filipino and second Asian American to occupy this position. Attorney General Bonta's passion for justice and fairness was instilled in him by his parents. If those of you may know, they worked with United Farm Workers, Cesar Chavez, and Dolores Huerta through much of his childhood, and has instilled in him the importance of fighting. It's why he decided to become a lawyer and to help right historic wrongs and fight for people who have been harmed. He's worked his way through college and graduated with honors. He went to Yale University and also to Yale Law School. Attorney General Bonta has led statewide efforts to fight for racial, economic, and environmental justice and works to further the rights of immigrant families, renters, and working Californians. He previously worked as a deputy city attorney for the city and county of San Francisco, where he represented the city and its employees and fought to protect Californians from exploitation and racial profiling. He went on to pursue elected office in Alameda County, first as an Alameda Council member, and later as an assembly member representing Oakland, Alameda, and San Leandro. We've had the great pleasure to work with him as both a legislator and now as the Attorney General. We couldn't be more thrilled to have him here with us today, who's somebody who has demonstrated a deep concern and care for not just the Alameda County, but the entire state of California, and is a real pioneer in the work that we're doing around gun violence, and we're so excited to have you here with us today, Attorney General Bonta.
Well, good morning, everyone. Rob Bonta, California Attorney General, honored to be with you. Thank you, Christine, for the very kind and generous introduction. Always appreciate your leadership, partnership, and friendship, and grateful for the invitation to join you today. Let me say thank you to the Prosecutors Alliance, District Attorneys Becton and Verber Salazar, and allow me the special privilege to acknowledge some of my own team, my own staff, who are attending the conference today. Maggie Krell, my incredible special advisor on survivor policy and advocacy, and members of our Victims Services Unit as well. Johanna Milan, our VSU manager, and victim advocates Ashley Rojas, Rose Robinson, and Vanessa Ruiz. And again, what an honor and a privilege to be here with you, to be in the company of so many champions who are getting after it and getting the work done. And that's what you all are. You're champions for justice, for safety, and for survivors. So on behalf of the more than 5,000 public servants at the California Department of Justice that I'm honored and grateful to work with, thank you for leading this work. You have my profound gratitude, and you have a partner in me and our team always. We're all here because we care. Whether you're a prosecutor, a victim advocate, a survivor of gun violence, a community leader new to this work, or a mom demanding action, we all know what's happening in our nation right now, and we all know that it's unacceptable. Bullets fired indiscriminately, lives taken en masse on a daily basis. The pain feels, of course, particularly acute in recent days. Over the weekend, 2 teen brothers from Berkeley, Angel and Jazzy Soleto Garcia, shot to death at a birthday party. Their future ripped away from them, their family inflicted with a wound so deep it will never fully heal. Days before, a mass shooting right here in Oakland at a school site that left 6 people, including 2 students, gravely injured, forever traumatized, never will be the same. Every bullet has the power to leave a victim, and in recent days, what once felt like a flood has turned into an ocean of gun violence, pain, and heartbreak for survivors and for their families. I lead proudly the largest State Department of Justice in the nation as an Attorney General, but I approach ending the siege of gun violence as a father. A few years back, I'll never forget the moment of panic and fear when, on the group text I share with my wife, Assemblymember Mia Bonta, and our oldest daughter, Raina texted us on that group thread saying that her school was in a shutdown, that there was an active shooter nearby. And she didn't know what was happening. She was trying to get the most recent information, but that's all she knew. Of course, we wanted to go to her. We couldn't. And so we waited, nervously, frightened. And thankfully, we found out that the person carrying the firearm while nearby never made it on campus. And the threat was addressed, and our oldest is safe. But that happens far too often. I had a constituent in San Leandro who's having the same experience and calling me, desperate, not knowing who else to call but their assembly member, to say, I have a son in lockdown, and can you help me? Can you tell me what's going on? Can you give me some information? Can you assure me he'll be safe? And I couldn't give that assurance, but I could do my best to find out as much information as possible. And in that instance, again, the individual was safe, but for too many, the story does not end up that way. Too many parents have the same experience. Too many families are affected in this way. And this is, unfortunately, a disease unique in the world to America. It's our disease. Only in this country, in the whole world, do we have gun violence at these levels. And so, as the former assembly member representing Oakland, I would visit classrooms. One of my favorite things, to talk to children, young people, about their future, about the potential, their unlimited potential, their dreams, their vision for a world that's safer, better, more just, with more equity, more opportunity. And I would ask them, I would say, how many of you, by raise of hands, have been impacted by gun violence? You, personally, or someone you know or love? And when I would ask that, almost every time in these classrooms of children, every student would raise their hand, everyone. It was rare when someone did not raise their hand. And our children deserve to grow up in a world better than that, safer than that. Not just in their classrooms, but everywhere, in their neighborhoods, in their communities, their towns, their cities. And our young people, they don't just deserve safety, they are demanding it of us, of adults, of leaders. They're literally saying, we are kids. We want to learn in our schools. We want to play. We want to be kids. You're the adults. Keep us safe. And they're right when they say that. They're right. Student activist David Hogg was absolutely right when, on the day after the Parkland shooting, he said it on live TV. We're children, you're adults. Take action. In California, we're responding. That's what we do. We take action when there is an injustice, a threat to public safety. We get to work. We roll up our sleeves, we put our heads down, and do the work. And this morning, I want to speak a little bit about how we're getting to work at the California Department of Justice, what we're doing to keep communities safe from gun violence through the lens of an innovative new office we just launched, and how we can partner together and improve public safety for everyone. At DOJ, we've been leading efforts to reduce gun violence for years, and since I had the honor and privilege of taking over the department, we've doubled down on those efforts. We're defending our nation-leading gun laws in court when they are challenged, our assault weapons ban, our large capacity magazine ban. We're taking legal action against firearm traffickers and ghost gun manufacturers, a new frontier on the ongoing fight against gun violence. We're taking on retailers as well. We're seizing illegally possessed firearms across the state, taking over 20,000 firearms out of dangerous hands since the launch of our armed prohibited persons system enforcement efforts since I took over. That is a unique in the nation, first in the nation program where we know two things about you, that you have a firearm and that you shouldn't have one under the law. So we knock on your door and we remove it from you before someone can get hurt. We're sponsoring new legislation, promoting red flag laws, and supporting victims and survivors of gun violence. But with 111 people shot and killed in our nation every day, what we are doing is not enough. We must always do more. Like all of you, we know we can do more. We must do more because this moment demands more of all of us. And that's why days ago I was proud to be joined by gun safety advocates from across the state to launch DOJ's Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Unique in the nation, this innovative new office, the first of its kind at a DOJ, anywhere in the nation, not just in California, complements our existing robust efforts in the Bureau of Firearms and across our department. The office works to reduce and prevent gun violence on the front end and reduce trauma by providing centralized state support to implement innovative programs, including some of the ones being highlighted appropriately at this conference today. From gun violence restraining orders to proven prevention programs like Operation Peacekeeper. We're just getting started, but when fully up and running, the new office will examine a broad range of factors to prevent gun violence, from firearms availability to effective resources for crisis prevention. We're going to reduce gun violence by promoting research and data collection. We believe in evidence-based approaches, data-driven approaches, effective approaches that work. We will increase awareness about effective legal and policy strategies, and we're going to collaborate with our partners, including, of course, all of you. In short, we're going to save lives and make our communities safer, and we're going to do it together. Look no further than our red flag laws to see an area where we believe our office can make a critical difference. In 2016, California became one of the first states in the nation to enact a red flag law, gun violence restraining orders and domestic violence restraining orders. As you know, the law initially allowed law enforcement officers and family members of a person they believed was a danger to themselves or others to petition the court, to have the court prohibit that person from possessing firearms through a gun violence restraining order. In 2020, the law was expanded to employers, co-workers, and school employees, and separately, individuals who are in fear of or experiencing abuse by someone with which they are in a close relationship, a current or former spouse, a partner, a parent even, can request a domestic violence restraining order. These orders prohibit individuals from the possession of a firearm or ammunition and requires guns and bullets to be relinquished, turned over, handed over. They save lives, but in California, they are also underutilized. Only 1,384 GVROs were issued in 2021, and data shows that 32% of those were issued in just one county alone, San Diego County, at 1/3 of all GVROs in one county, which has, thankfully, San Diego has taken a leading role in utilizing our red flag laws, maximizing their use, making sure they're keeping people safe. But San Diego only represents 8% of the state's population. There are 57 other counties that can do what San Diego is doing. Stop gun violence before it happens, prevent it from happening with an evidence-based approach in red flag laws. So we need to replicate these results across the state, and we think our new office can help law enforcement and our community partners do just that, to help them implement effective programs, highlighting tools like these for families and individuals to keep communities and neighborhoods safe. Because it's clear we can't just sit back and hope people know about things like red flag laws on their own. We need to be affirmative. We need to take action, take agency in pushing them out and making them work. It's going to take statewide leadership and resources to help make these tools more accessible, and our Office of Gun Violence Prevention is proud to embark on this work with all of you. As much as I preach the good work we are leading in California, and it is good work, I launched this office because it is also clear the work we've done, while nation leading, is not enough. It's not enough to be the nation's gun safety leader when our babies are getting shot in the back seat of a car on the 880. It's not enough that you are statistically less likely to die from a bullet in California than just about any other state when our children are being shot in their classrooms. It is not enough to pass the strongest gun safety laws in the nation, including a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, when birthday parties turn into war zones. This doesn't mean our efforts are futile. anything but. They are life-saving. They are nation-leading. They work. They save lives. But it does mean we all need to do more. As we look at this recent wave of violence and as you embark on this conference and learning opportunity today, each of us is presented with a choice. Do we accept this violence as just part of life? Or do we do something about it because we know you cannot accept the unacceptable? I look at this room and I see advocates who collectively choose the latter. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. There is no silence in this room. There is no silence at this conference. There is only a full-throated cry to do more, to act more boldly, to get more done, to do more for victims and survivors, to do more for the safety of our communities. Thank you for taking such a leading role to fight this injustice, to save lives, and we know that you have a partner. Please know that you have a partner in action at the California Department of Justice. I've always believed there is no problem we cannot solve when we do it together, when we lift together, when we reach out hands of partnership, and those are received. We're at our best when we work together. There's no us and them. There's only one collective us. And together we have a shared future, a shared society, and we need to address these problems together. So we're hard at work. I know you are too. We'll continue to collaborate, fight, and achieve more justice and safety for our communities. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to get ready for the next panel, and we'll bring them in momentarily. Any questions or any needs from anybody in the audience while we have a little pause here getting people lined up? Okay, just sit tight, and we're going to start with our next panel of community. Yeah. If everybody is open to it, I would love for us to just go around the room and introduce ourselves and the organizations we're from. I've gotten a chance to talk to many of you, but not all of you. So maybe just a raise of the hand and a quick what group you're with and how you intersect with this issue would be really amazing. Do you want to start here, Ebony? And we'll have to use our outside voices because there's not a microphone to pass around. Great.
Hi, I am Yvette Bravo. Beyond Violence Prevention at the Family Justice Center in Virginia.
Leon Marchese, intervention specialist with Beyond Violence for the Family Justice Center.
Hi, I'm Maggie Frellin with the Attorney General's Office.
Hi, I'm Kate Fuller. I'm with the National Prevention Science Coalition.
Nate Williams, Executive Director of Choices for Freedom, Colorado. Me? My name's Adam. I'm doing the video.